The government cannot endorse Muslim law, Jewish law, Christian law, Methodist law, Baptist law, none of it. So we don't need a special anti-Sharia law or a special anti-Sharia caucus. The First Amendment already takes care of it. Well, anything illegitimate or discriminatory that our colleagues would want to selectively impose on Muslims is conversely a violation of the Free Exercise Clause and also forbidden by the Constitution. Muslims afraid that Congress might actually impose one of these anti-Sharia bills, and of course they're just introduced for political purposes. I don't think they have any delusions that they're going to pass Congress. But if you were afraid of that, all you would have to do is read the case law to understand why that can't be done. Check out, for example, a case with the wonderful name Church of Lukumi Babalu I versus City of Hialeah in 1992, where the city of Hialeah in Florida selectively banned animal rituals and sacrifice by people practicing the Santeria religion. And the Supreme Court shrewdly said, look, if you want to have general laws that apply to every religion and to every citizen that ban certain kinds of animal slaughter as cruel or unusual or particularly harmful, then you can do it. But you can't pass a law that targets a specific religion. Justice Kennedy called it religious gerrymandering. So I don't know, Mr. Chairman, about the East Plano Islamic Center, which sounds like a compound with a mosque and some residential and some restaurants and so on. And of course, those kinds of religious compounds exist all across America, whether we're talking about the Amish, the Mennonites, Catholics, Jews, you name it, lots of those exist. But they do violate a separate principle if the government actually clothes them with secular power. So I would agree with you, if they're giving them the power to set up their own police force, their own school system, that would violate the Supreme Court's decision in a case called Kiryas Joel, Village School District versus Kumet. That was 1994, where New York created a separate public school district for members of the Satmar Hasidic Jewish religion in upstate New York. And the Supreme Court said, no, you can't endow a religious group with secular power. So if that's going on there, then I'm with you. But if it's not going on, then it's just a compound. And if they own the property, it's private property and they bought it, why would we want to mess around with that? That sounds like you're just vilifying and demonizing people because you don't like their religion. And I know you wouldn't do that. And let me just say finally, to uniquely blockade members of a particular religion, here Islam, from participating in government or politics, the kind of thing you do hear from people calling for Ilhan Omar to be expelled from Congress or deported from the country, that plainly violates Article 6, Clause 3 of the Constitution, which says no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. So let's repose some of our faith and trust in the founders of the Constitution. The Establishment Clause, the Free Exercise Clause, the ban on religious tests for public office, they've been working pretty well for America.